Boxing had to come a long way before savants like Ali and Floyd could dazzle us in the ring. The recesses of violence reach far back into our evolutionary journey, but the earliest evidence of a sport dates back to 6th millennium BCE in what is now known as Ethiopia. The earliest physical evidence of boxing belongs to the ancient civilization of Sumeria, nearly 5,000 years ago. We do not know how popular it was at that point, but by the 3rd millennium BCE, fist-fighting competitions were taking place in Sumerian and Egyptian cities. Tablets dated around 3000 BCE, found in the Sumerian city of Kufaja, showcase boxing talents, as well as offering more details. Similarly, artworks showcasing the sport have been found in Mesopotamian states of Assyria and Babylon, as well as parts of the Hittite Empire. Other ancient civilizations like India and China were not far off. Rig Veda 1500 to 1000 BCE and Ramayana 700 to 400 BCE refer to various types of boxing, like the Mustiyada, which translates directly to fist combat. In the case of the Egyptians, it is believed that they learned the art from neighboring Nubians after multiple invasions and then introduced it to the Mediterranean. A 1350 BCE sculpture from the Egyptian city of Thebes shows boxers engaged in the sport as the pharaoh watches on. The sport gained popularity around the world due to its overlap with military training. And with military regimens, rule sets started to emerge. A carved vase from Crete shows 2 fighters wearing gloves. Over the next few centuries, the Greeks would add a few more rules, bringing the art of fisticuffs closer to the opera of violence we enjoy today. A Greek story goes that Theseus invented a form of boxing where 2 contestants sat face to face and beat each other to death with their fists. Pygmachia, or fist fighting, was introduced in the Olympics in 688 BCE and quickly became a popular pastime for the people. The men trained on korikos, or punching bags with leather straps, called himantes, on their hands. Gloves and wrappings were needed to compete, but one thing wasn't: clothes. The Greeks fought naked. Women were not allowed to watch the sport, and that had little to do with nudity and more with the violent nature of the sport. And it was particularly violent. Not only were there no protective accessories, there were no weight classes either. A well-placed blow from a heavy fighter could potentially prove fatal. In the Iliad, Homer presents the tale of a bout. Similarly, the sport of pankration in the Olympics was a combination of boxing and wrestling. The Greeks believed that Heracles dominated the Nemean lion using the moveset, and Theseus used it to overpower Cercyon of Eleusis. The Romans took a lot of their cultural cues from the Greeks, including their gods, so it isn't surprising that they took their gods' pastimes as well. Pugilism became a popular spectacle at Roman amphitheaters. To raise the stakes, they added spikes to their leather gloves, and eventually, weapons were introduced. A similar sport to gladiatorial combat was Kalaripayut in India. A 3,000-year-old martial art, it was noted for its importance in battle training. Other martial arts, like the Shaolin Kung Fu, also gained notoriety in China. While these were all contact sports with combat as their key pillar, they did not resemble the sport of boxing as we know it today. What's interesting to note is that fistfighting fell out of spotlight for several centuries. There were a few places like Rus where, before eventually getting banned, it remained a form of mass entertainment. However, most fistfighting contests around the world were more akin to bar fights than public spectacles. So, we jump forward in time to 16th century Britain. Bare-knuckle boxing contests were making the rounds, but these were devoid of rules and chaotic to the point of including fencing and cudgeling contests. No weight limits, no referee, and no rules. Poking, groin strikes, headbutts, chokes, and throws were all valid moves because nothing was invalid. It was around this time that the term boxing made its way into popular vernacular. In 1681, the Duke of Albemarle scheduled the first recorded bout of boxing between his butler and his butcher. To nobody's surprise, the butcher emerged victorious. Unlike the ancient Greeks, British women were no strangers to boxing. The first female fight advertised in print dates back to 1722. James Figg became the first English bare-knuckle or boxing champion in 1719. The same year, he opened an amphitheater capable of seating 1,000 people. In 1727, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, Robert Walpole, poet laureate Colley Cibber, and satirist Jonathan Swift watched him defeat his greatest rival, Edward Ned Sutton, in Ned's sold-out amphitheater. After Figg's death, the mantle of the sport fell on the head of Jack Broughton. In 1743, he opened an amphitheater on Oxford Road and introduced boxing's first ever rule set, known as Broughton Rules. The idea was to protect fighters and avoid unnecessary deaths in the ring. Grabbing below the waist and hitting a downed opponent were both prohibited. For the bout to continue, the fallen man had to get back to his feet within 30 seconds, at which point the round would instantly be declared over, offering him an additional breather. Prize fighting became a common pastime of the people and was even taken by people to settle disputes. For instance, in 1790, two ladies who claimed the affection of the same man went toe-to-toe to resolve the matter. As time went on, more rule sets were drafted and sanctioning bodies came into play. In 1838, the British Pugilist Protective Association initiated the London Prize Ring Rules, but they were not enough. In 1867, the Marquess of Queensberry rules laid the groundwork for modern boxing rules. Rounds were 3 minutes each, with a 1-minute rest in between. Contestants had to wear padded gloves. Wrestling was forbidden, and downed fighters had to get up against a 10-second or be declared knocked out. Weight divisions were also introduced during this era. Many of the underground enthusiasts of the sport sneered at the new rules, calling them unmanly, but it helped open boxing up to a whole new audience. In the 19th century, boxing also started becoming popular across the pond, as British champions toured the US to fight American fighters. Despite the revised and much sophisticated Queensberry rules, boxing was considered harmful in most of the US and the UK, and was therefore banned. Consider an 1882 bare-knuckle contest, R vs. Coney, in which one of the contestants was charged with assault, despite mutual consent and agreement between the two parties. The same year, Irish-born American boxer John L. Sullivan claimed the World Heavyweight Championship. Sullivan was instrumental in making professionals comply with the Queensberry rules, making it easier for the sport to gain.
In the first week of December, oh, for the doctor to get in here. Oh, here's a better angle of it. Oh, he broke.
In legitimacy. The sport continued to grow despite regulatory setbacks, especially because the people perception would turn champions into heroes and modern gladiators. It also became a training tool in the First World War, leaving a huge impression in the minds of many people. Up until that point, boxing champions were just the stuff of consensus. There was no governing body to make sense of these things. But the foundation of the U.S. National Boxing Association after the First World War brought consistency to the sport. The establishment of the New York State Athletic Commission was also instrumental in bringing boxing to the masses in a legitimate manner. By the early 20th century, boxing had carved out a unique space, especially for immigrants in the U.S. Anyone could train hard and go from rags to riches in a few years. It was also seen as a viable alternative to crime. Why not channel violence in a positive manner? But boxing was not devoid of racial biases that plagued the American society back in the day. For instance, Jack Dempsey refused to fight African-American Harry Willis, and Jack Johnson was publicly derided, to the point that he left the country. But African Americans would continue to shine in the ring, with fighters like Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, and Sonny Liston, leaving indelible marks on the sport's history. Lewis's 25 consecutive title defenses still hold the record for the longest single reign in boxing history. Sugar Ray Robinson is widely regarded as the greatest boxer to ever live, and his 6 fights with Jake LaMotta have been fictionalized in Scorsese's Raging Bull. Sonny Liston was the scariest man to ever step foot in the ring. That is, until a young trash-talking kid made him quit in the 7th. Rocky Marciano, Henry Armstrong, Willie Pep, Harry Greb, Ezzard Charles, Archie Moore. There are far too many iconic names that reigned supreme during this era. In 1962, the National Boxing Association was eventually upgraded to the World Boxing Association, or WBA. The very next year, the World Boxing Council, or WBC, brought together representatives from 11 different countries to create a unified governing body. Thus began the two-belt era. This was the time of one of the biggest names in the sport to shine, Muhammad Ali. So many iconic moments: the two Liston fights, the trilogy with Frazier, the trilogy with Norton, and the Rumble in the Jungle against Foreman. Ali's brash mannerism would open the door for boxers to receive more public interest than ever before. Phenoms like Tyson, Holyfield, De La Hoya, Salvador Sanchez, Chavez, Lennox Lewis, Floyd, and Pacquiao, among countless others, followed. With the introduction of IBF in the 80s, the three-belt era provided the four kings to shine on the highest stages on the world. In time, the WBA split up to give rise to the WBO. So now we live in the four-belt era of boxing. For a moment, the regulatory and promotional disputes sent the sport in a downward spiral. Promotions like HBO Boxing and Showtime Boxing closed their doors after years of successful business.
On top. Watch where it lands. Right to the rib cage there. Chance is grabbing a hold of him, but you can see the effect.
But the sport of pugilism is a little bit like an opponent that just won't stay down. Today, it is a truly global sport, with fighters from different parts of the world proudly representing their countries. And the arrival of new faces like Turki Ali Sheikh in the promotional world tells us that the future of boxing may just be in safe hands. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. If there's something we missed, feel free to chime in. That's it for now. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you
of that blow.
Będziesz dalej kontynuowana.
Oj, 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 oj.
Koniec walki.
For someone like Michael Venom Page.
Oh, we got a problem right there.
That kick ends it.
That kick itself, you saw it. Look.
Usually the shin bone. He just oh man, that is nasty.
Obviously, Hyder Khan's got his attention. Oh, what? Broken arm, perhaps. And there it is. There's a bend in the forearm where there's not supposed to be.
Just about everything you need in a fight, you lose off the liver shot. It can come back.
Beautiful. Runs into the jump knee, and it's over.
Did the hype train just pick up speed? Because
hard kick to the knee of Presley. A beautiful knee to the side of the head, and that really did hurt. Mercedes' career, his nose is absolutely. Look at that.
that's going to have to be put back in place.
Oh my
I'll tell you what.
goodness, that looks like plasticine, doesn't it?
Alexandru. Wow. Ia să vedem pe...
Ca acea centură ca să-i mai motiveze. Are?
Wow. No, that was definitely cupped. I saw. Ton.
Well, you guys were fortunate. Oh, that was so clear.
Squaring him. I know it was unintentional,
that was horrible.
Still an illegal
His
shot.
leg was up. That was just. I feel.
Вы психи, вы сумасшедшие! Узбекский левша! Гати просит, чтобы ты разрешил ему забрать эти зубы. Ты отдаешь ему их? Их 2. Давай оставим один тебе, а один отдадим ему.
Will's hands high. Last time he was out. Oh, no! No!
Oh, big uppercut. That was a huge.
It's fight of the night because it was all action from the beginning. Veda Arteaga, the right hand on the eye. Look at it here, that grotesque swelling caused by the right hand of Arteaga. Brooke Mayo doing everything she can to stay left eye, and then here the stoppage. She is begging the fight to get apart right now. Yeah. Oh!
The mobility. Oh! Kick by MVP.
Straight up, brings his leg up. Here comes the foot right into the middle of Derek Anderson's face.
And this fight is over. As that crushing kick spells victory for Michael Venom Page, improving to 19-1 overall.
I'm totally sure what happened.
Oh, no. There's no way.
Oh, and a nasty cut right there on the... Nah, it's over. Yeah. This is it for him. Good sportsmanship from Contola as well. Just telling, look at that.
A lot of his energy. Oh, the foot again! Oh, I feel...
Let's see if he can get a victory for Man Buns tonight, as there was not one earlier.
That's it. It's done.
Oh
my goodness.
Medical.
Obviously, they're going to get medical attention in there right now.
All right, they need a...
Mr. Williams definitely has a broken leg there.
That is a broken leg. We need to get medical attention.